Oh. Yeah, and no, not today.
Yeah.
You see a difference?
Yes.
Camito, on the other side. So she's not even guarding the car. You know? Yeah. Right. There you go. Steve. Stella. That's what I was saying. Peter.
Go in the back.
Right here with Stella. We just, she's a good girl.
This is interesting, right? So, obviously, owner is no longer in the vehicle, right? Cesar gets in it, then he has everybody come up. So you get into why is this behavior the way it is, right? This is something I talk about with clients a lot, right? So obviously, we know the dog is still protecting themselves, right? We know that the dog, the component is they're trying to keep the person away because they feel that that person is a threat, right? Now, a lot of people would look at this and they'll think, well, they're guarding the owner. That's why the owner no longer in the car affects the dog's behavior. Yes and no, right? Yes, the owner is contributing to the problem, but no, it's not that the dog is just being protective over the owner. It's the way that the owner makes the dog feel in the presence of the owner that causes them to feel emboldened enough to react in those aggressive manners, right? So if us being around the dog constantly amplifies these like adrenaline spikes of I'm constantly like on edge and overstimulated, and being around this person makes me feel a little bit more confident because they're constantly coddling me and they kind of give me this big ego and stuff like that. I'm going to feel more confident to react like I can handle this situation. But when that security blanket is pulled away, you really see the true dog, which is insecure. So now what we're seeing is we're seeing an insecure dog in these clips that's kind of like, whoa, what's going on? And instead of feeling confident and reacting, they're reserved and they're kind of going back, right? We talk about this with like vet visits and things like that, where sometimes the owner isn't necessarily even a resource to the dog. They're like the security blanket that they back themselves up to and then are perceived in their mind like they're against a wall. Right? When they're next to the owner, they can't retreat anymore, which is why we'll see a lot of times. Like we had a video we posted a couple months ago of this dog that I did an assessment with that was acting aggressively. And I had the owner just drop the leash and just stand there, dog and a muzzle on. And I approached the owner and the dog aggressively lunged at me, right? And tried to get away. But their way of getting away was like circling the owner, right? They were trying to get away from me, but they didn't feel like they could actually move away because the owner was the back as far away as they can get, right? Does that make sense? So that behavior amplifies because of that. And where does that come from? That comes from a lack of an owner creating boundaries for the dog, where they feel like you're just the ultimate sense of safety as opposed to you're not going to allow this either. So I'm kind of need to figure this out and handle this on my own.
Yeah.
Very interesting.